Hi. We've made it all the way to Act 5. Yeah, it's a long play. If it was being acted in front of us, it'd be about 2.5 hours long, and that's with some cuts being made. I've never seen a Romeo and Juliet that ran less than 2.5 hours. And even the ones that I cut, and I was really brutal. So this is long. If we sit here and talk about it, it takes us days, literally takes us days to do it. So here we are at the very last act. And as we left our people in Act 4, Juliet is dead. They think she's dead. She's been sent to a tomb. And the friar is the only one in town who knows that she's not really dead. And last we saw Romeo, he was leaving for Mantua. We haven't heard anything from him since Act 3. Everybody's really sad about Juliet, except for, of course, the friar, who's actually in on this whole secret. Okay. All right. So here we are. And this is the only scene that takes place outside of Verona. Yeah, we're now in Mantua. We're very shadowy. Yeah, it's okay.
Romeo, if I may trust the flattering truth of sleep, my dreams presage some joyful news at hand. I dreamt my lady came and found me dead. Strange dream that gives a dead man leave to think, and breathed such life with kisses in my lips that I revived and was an emperor. Ah me, how sweet is love itself possessed, when but love's shadows are so rich in joy.
Okay, that's really weird. He had a dream that he was dead, and that Juliet came to him and kissed him back to life. And he felt great about this. The boy is really bad at understanding foreshadowing. There's so much death imagery in this play, and this is just one of those things again, where he dreams that he's dead, but he's cool because he got kissed back to life by Juliet. Okay, Balthazar enters.
News from Verona. How now, Balthazar? Dost thou not bring me letters from the friar? How doth my lady? Is my father well? How fares my Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
Then she is well, and nothing can be ill. Her body sleeps in Capel's monument, and her immortal part with angels lives. I saw her laid low in her kindred's vault, and presently took post to tell it to you. Oh, pardon me for bringing these ill news, since you did leave it for my officer.
Is it even so? Then I defy you, stars. Get me ink and paper. I will hence tonight.
Okay, so this is really weird. Balthazar shows up and he's like, and Romeo's like, nothing can be bad if everything's good with Julia. And he's like, I guess nothing could ever be bad. She's dead. Sorry, I didn't want to give you these news. And then Romeo's reaction is, what? I defy you, stars. Like the fate. Stars. I defy you, fate. And then he immediately goes to get me a pen and ink. I feel like writing.
Yes. I will
That's
hence tonight.
I will hence tonight. What's up with that? Okay, go Balthazar.
I do beseech you, sir, have patience. Your looks are pale and wild, and do import some misadventure.
Tush, thou art deceived. Leave me, and do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no letters to me from the friar?
No, my good lord.
No matter. Get thee gone. I'll be with thee straight.
Okay, so he wants Balthazar to go get him something to write on and write with, and he wishes there was some kind of, this seems weird. He finds out Juliet's dead, he's like, did the friar write me? That's weird, right? Okay, so anyway, there's a little discontinuity in this moment where Romeo is like just finding out that Juliet's dead, and suddenly he's got these plot devices that we have to fill. And I just have to be open with you right now. I think that this is one of the lamest parts of the play, because Romeo should be taking a moment to really be freaked out about this and maybe confirm it or something like that. And instead he's just like, I'm going to write a letter. I need to know if the friar sent me anything. No, he didn't. I need to confirm that for the audience that I didn't get anything from the friar. It seems a little bit kind of blatant. And then he immediately goes to his fallback option. And what's his fallback option?
killing himself?
Yes, the same as Juliet's. They're made for each other. So,
Mhm.
all right, go ahead.
Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Let's see for means. O mischief, thou art swift to enter in the thoughts of desperate men. I do remember an apothecary, and hereabouts he dwells, which late I noted in tattered weeds with overwhelming brows. And if a man did need a poison now, whose sale is present death in Mantua, here lives a caitiff?
Mhm.
A caitiff wretch would sell it him. Oh, this same thought did but forerun my need. And this same needy man must sell it to me. As I remember, this should be the house. What ho, apothecary! I think we should stop because he's walking in his neighborhood.
Yeah.
And he stops, he sees the house.
There's a lot here too, because and it would have of course been on Shakespeare's stage, been just like, oh, and I just happened to be right in front of this apothecary shop.
Yeah.
First of all, what's an apothecary? And they're a druggist or a pharmacist or something like that of that time period, kind of an herbalist person, somebody who's not the Franciscan friar, but somebody who for business goes and collects herbs and other medicinal things and keeps them in their shop for people to come by and buy. Now, he gives us a nice description about how this person was poor, their clothing is tattered, and they look maybe sickly and desperate. Okay, so this person looks like they need money. And if you want something illegal, which poison is illegal, then you want to find somebody who is desperate to make money so they would sell something to you like that. And so right now he's like, oh, and I remember it was right here. Dun, dun, dun.
Convenient.
It happens to be there. Okay. So let's go ahead and enter the apothecary. Who calls so loud?
Come hither, man. I see that thou art poor. Hold, there is 40 ducats. Let me have a dram of poison, such soon speeding gear as will disperse itself through all the veins, that the life-weary taker may fall dead.
Such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's law is death to any he that utters them.
Need and oppression starveth in thine eyes. Contempt and beggary hangs upon thy back. The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich. Then be not poor, but break it and take this.
My poverty, but not my will, consents.
I pay thy poverty and not thy will.
Put this in any liquid thing you will, and drink it off. And if you have the strength of 20 men, it would dispatch you straight.
There is thy gold, worse poison to men's souls. Doing more murders in this loathsome world than these poor compounds that thou mayest not sell. I sell thee poison, thou hast sold me none. Farewell, buy food and get thyself in flesh. Come, cordial and not poison, go with me to Juliet's grave, for there must I use thee.
Okay, so it's an interesting exchange, and there's a little added interest here that Shakespeare just throws in, just so he can tell us a few things about what he believes, I think. Because we've got the apothecary who's poor and agrees to sell the drug to Romeo that would kill him.
Right.
And Romeo talks him into it, and he tells him this is going to kill you right away. Okay, and you just put it in something liquid and then drink it and you're good. And then Romeo gives him like a little speech there about how I'm giving you gold, and gold is more of a poison to men's souls than this thing that you've given me. So I'm the one giving you something bad. You have not given me something bad. And the line that it does more murders in this loathsome world is interesting. This whole play is not about money per se, but it is about rich people and their wishing to be upwardly mobile, marry their daughters off, and what their ownership of things are, what their power is, and their struggles to attain and keep power. And if you want to look at it that way, and this is a little opinion spot, where Romeo is of the opinion that money doesn't do anybody any good.
Right. Causes more death than poison. So he says that the money he just gave him
Is worse.
Is poison.
Poison.
And what you've given me is not a poison.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And not true, because he really did buy poison.
He really did. But we get it, metaphorically speaking.
Metaphorically.
So I did have a couple of quick things.
Okay.
Come cordial and
Yeah.
not poison. So cordial.
Cordials are usually a drink, like an alcoholic drink, a sweet like dessert
desserty
drink that
type
you have.
drink.
It like like it's supposed to make you feel good. And so he's saying that this is not poison. This will be a cordial. This is something that I'm going to take to feel better about things.
I also wanted to know a little bit about, so if you had the strength of 20 men, it would dispatch you straight. That's a weird way to say that, but they mean like straight away, like immediately. If you were as strong as 20 men.
Right. It doesn't matter
It's gonna
how
take you down.
the strongest dude in the world is going to die immediately if they take that poison.
What you have, Fiona?
Well, just the phrase "get thyself in flesh," and
Oh,
I
yes.
think I understand it to mean, fill your, get food,
Gain some weight.
And I think 40 ducats. 40 ducats is a
healthier.
lot of money.
Yeah, that'd be interesting
Yeah.
to know what 40 ducats
Yeah,
in
I don't
that
know what
era
the exchange rate for that time period would be, but
meant.
I
Right.
think it's a lot of money. So
Right.
he's given him enough money that he can get better.
Yes.
Yeah.
presage. My dreams presage some joyful
Foretell.
news.
Presage.
Like sages
Presage.
give
Presage?
wisdom, like
Presage.
to give wisdom. A sage is a wise thing, like so.
And it is pronounced
Okay.
presage, right?
Presage.
I
think
don't
so.
know.
Did you look up
I said
catif as well?
presage.
I know.
Right?
Oh, you did.
Cative
No, you did.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just breaking the word down. Presage, so foretell in some
and
way.
it's presage.
Okay. And then, did you look up catif?
Cative is hang on, I had it right here.
Here
so
lives
maybe,
a catif wretch.
It's like
would
a
sell
bad,
it him.
rascally bad thing, like
Rascal.
a contemptible or cowardly person.
Ooh, contemptible or cowardly.
Okay.
Both would
I'm
be
thinking of going
appropriate.
contemptible.
And then
though.
in tattered weeds
Oh, yeah.
with overwhelming brows. The tattered weeds is his clothes. They're tattered.
Mhm.
But what? What's with the
He either had
overwhelming
giant
brow?
eyebrows or what he had was like a brooding
Yeah, brooding,
expression. Like he looked
Maybe.
his
sad or
brow.
concerned.
That's what.
And
Yeah.
then forerun my need. This same thought did, but forerun my need.
Came before. Yeah, it came before. I saw that guy and I was like, hey, if you ever wanted to buy poison, that'd probably be the guy. And turns out that I ended up needing to know that
Yeah.
information.
Mhm. So then the characters in this one is just the three, Romeo, Balthazar, and Apothecary.
Yeah.
And Balthazar, when he comes in theory, is the one delivering messages back and forth, but he doesn't have any from the friar. All
No,
he
he
has
didn't
is
get one from the friar.
news.
Yeah. So this is really weird. And it almost seems like he was sent to go talk to the friar. Probably should have. But instead, he gets back to Verona and he sees that Juliet's dead and he thinks that's so important. He needs to go right back now and tell Romeo that. So that was a little breakdown in communication.
Whoops. Yeah.
Yeah. But also Balthazar shows a little bit of like a sense of what's going on here. He's like, oh, I'm worried about your words and your actions right now. I don't want to leave you like this.
Seem a bit off.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's sensing that all's not well with Romeo. But Romeo's one on the edge of this kind of level of depression and suicidal thought for a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
And
a long time this week.
so then Romeo, as he starts in this, he's coming out of that dream that is oddly making him feel happy. And then he's thinking, oh, I feel like news is coming. Good news. And then in comes Balthazar, who doesn't have any news except that she's dead and nothing from the friar, no facts, no what's really going on. And so he's like, get me paper. I got to write something and I'm going to go to her tonight. And then finds his apothecary, who doesn't want to sell poison necessarily, but because he's so poor, his poverty is accepting the money. It's really fascinating.
Oh, and by the way, this is probably like Thursday morning because she's going to wake up. I know because I've read the story before. She's going to wake up this evening, and that would be about right. And that means he's got this one day to get to her. We know because we know that she's not really dead. And so here we are. It's just Thursday. He hasn't even known Juliet a whole week yet. He met her last Sunday.
Yeah.
And his whole trajectory in life has gone from the moody boy who walked in the woods and whined about Rosaline to the banished murderer who's married to a girl who just, according to what he thinks, died. Fell in love with her, and she died, and he's banished from his home.
Yeah, his wife is dead.
Yeah, there it
Whoa.
is.
So that's the end of scene 1.
Mhm.
So we'll be back with scene 2.
Did we do all our stuff for it? Yeah.
Yeah, we
just
did.
Okay, we just
Okay,
went over.
we'll see you
We're
soon.
getting sleepy. All right.